Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I welcome you back to this channel. My name is Patrick Tawea Matope, and on this channel, I do post content social work related and social or within the social care field. I would put it like that. Um, Right. So before I go into today's topic, I just want to appreciate you for watching the videos and for sharing, clicking the like the like button, as well as hitting that notification bell, because some of you, I know you are subscribed to the channel and you do see the content as soon as I post, and you're able to watch and actually share. If you can please continue doing that. For those who are new, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell, like the video, put your comments down there in terms of what is it that you want to see me posting again. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 crucial tips to social work students to enable them to complete robust assessments, robust child and family assessments. There are other videos that I've done before concerning how to complete child and family assessments, but these are just 5 quick tips to social work students. This is in response to one of my viewers who requested me to put up a video concerning 5 quick tips on how they can complete robust child and family assessments. Right. So without further ado, I'm gonna go straight into it. But before I do that, I just want to put a disclaimer to say the information I share on this channel is from my own experiences, my own self-directed learning, and I don't claim to know everything. But these are just pointers or tips which I give from the best that I know or from the information that I know. So don't expect to know everything, within the next 5 minutes, or this video is going to be, for 5 minutes or something like that. But this is just to give you quick pointers and quick tips on how you can, come up with your, a robust child family assessment. So thank you so much. So let me dive straight into it. The first and foremost tip which I'll give is that it's important for you to understand the principles underpinning child and family assessments. Remember, you need to make sure that your assessment takes a holistic approach, and it also considers the strength of the family that you are currently working with. Those are some of the first, some of the most crucial things that you need to bear at the back of your mind as you embark on completing child and family assessment. So what do I mean by, taking a holistic approach? I'm talking about you making sure that you consider all the aspects of the service user's life. I'm talking about including their physical, emotional, as well as environmental factors is espoused in the assessment triangle. There's another video which I've posted on this channel which talks about the assessment triangle. Please go back to it and get to know more about how you can encompass those 3 aspects on the assessment triangle in your assessments, and make sure that in your assessment you have covered all those subheadings to make sure that your assessment is as robust as possible. Then the next one, under point number 1, which I spoke about earlier on, is about focusing on the strength of the family that you're working with. Remember, you are assessing what is it that they are good about, and also taking into account the deficiencies or the things that they can improve on. So you need to be focusing more on the strength of that particular family as well. So you need to focus on like I already said, the strengths of that particular family, the resources available to them. Are there any uncles, aunts, extended family members, friends, and all that who are able to support them? Those are some of the positives that you need to be looking into, and also ensure that you harness and encompass all those in your assessment and actually bring it out exactly what is it that they are there to support with that particular family. So you don't necessarily focus on their problems, also focus on what is it that they are doing okay, because it's those strengths that you can capitalize on to motivate them to continue to do better and change their lives. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to make sure that your assessment is you've actually widely consulted in you coming up with that assessment. So I'm talking about gathering comprehensive information in as much as possible, making sure that you have included multiple sources of information. Remember, the person who would have made that referral to the to social care will need to be contacted for you to gather more information of things that would have happened before the referral was made and also after the referral was made. Because remember, sometimes the referral can come through say a referral came through 2 days ago, and or was received 2 days ago, and only came to your clipboard, or only came or was allocated to you 3 days after the referral came through. A lot could have happened within those few days, so you need to contact the referrer again to find out if there is further information that they want to share with you, and ensure that you consult all the agencies that you need to consult. I'm talking about you're doing your agents checks with the school, doing your agents checks with the health, with the GP, and all other professionals that would have been working or that have been working with that particular family, to make sure that your assessment is widely consulted as possible. So in terms of collecting this information, you will also need to make sure that you are including the voice of the child. Remember, this is an assessment about that family or about those particular children, so you need to make sure that their voice is also included in your assessment. You need to observe if they are pre-verbal or pre-mobile. You need to make sure that you're observing their interaction with their caregivers, or you're observing their interaction with their primary carers. And you also ensure that you spend time observing and their interaction with their primary caregiver, like I've already said, in different settings. It could be at home, or it could be in the community, or it could be in the playground, or whatever it is. You so that you get a complete picture of how that child's lived experiences are like, and you make sure that you see that child on their own to gather their views, wishes, and feelings without any due influence or interference from the parents or from any other siblings, so that you see them on their own and make sure that you are gathering their individual voice. Point number 3, or tip number 3, is to make sure that you engage your service users, multiple times, not necessarily seeing them once. Fine, there are some people who complete assessments after seeing the service users once, but that takes a lot of experience. You need to have seen them at least once, or you have seen them twice, I would say, for you to actually say you are coming up with a robust assessment. When I'm talking about engaging your service users, I'm not only talking about engaging the mother. Remember, there are also fathers who needs to be engaged, even if it means you alter your times to make sure that you accommodate the times that they are available. Even if it means they finish work at 5, you also finish at 5. One of those days you should be able to alter your calendar and make sure that you see them possibly by 6 o'clock when they get home, engage them, or even see them during their lunchtime, or even do a video call with them during their lunch hour, so that you get their views as well, so that your assessment is balanced. You are only not getting views from one parent, but both parents who are having parental responsibility for that particular child. This also helps you to build trust with the service users, ensuring that you are establishing a trusting relationship with them, and it encourages them to be more open and to be more honest with you as well. In doing so, making sure that you use some of your soft skills around active listening, and making sure that you don't only listen to them, but you do understand what they mean. If you think you haven't heard them well, you can actually ask them to repeat what they've said to you, so that you make sure that you have heard them correctly, and make sure that the views that you're capturing is exactly what the service user has told you. And if there are any inconsistencies in the information they're giving you, you're able to check it there and there, and be able to verify that information, and be able to make sure that you get the correct picture of what is going on. And point number 4 is to make sure that you are able to reflect on the information that you got, hypothesize what's going on, and you're also able to analyze that information. You need to critically reflect on that information to be able to make up a picture of what you think could be going on in that particular child's life. And you need to also regularly look at your findings and think about, hypothesize on what you think could be happening, even if it means you may need to check in with the parents again in terms of your hypothesis to make sure that you have got them correctly. Within reflection and the ability to analyze, you also need to make sure that you need to use your supervision effectively with your line manager or with your senior practitioner, to make sure that you discuss your assessment, you get feedback from experienced practitioners, you've got senior practitioners in your team, and you also get the views of a manager on how that assessment should progress, because it might be possible that what you are thinking may not necessarily be exactly what your manager thinks should be happening. So you need to bounce off those ideas with your manager and make sure that you're on the right path before you actually complete your assessment. In some local authorities, they have what they call the 10-day check. Once you get your allocation of your assessments, once you do your first visit, or if you do your preliminary, agents checks and everything like that, you have your 10-day checks with your manager where you kind of discuss the case. Why is the case open to the local authority? What work you have done? When was the last time the child was seen? What are the views of the parents, the views of the child? And also you look into what's working well, what's not working well, and then you agree on the plan of action and what the outcome of that particular case may look like. Remember, it's your assessment, so you are free to actually chop and change things that you think, because remember, cases are evolving on a daily basis, so you're able to actually change. Don't remain rigid on what you think you have already gathered. If new information comes through, you should be able to reflect on it and be able to change your viewpoints in terms of what you think should be happening with that particular case. Then the last tip is around documentation and reporting. Remember, when you are coming up with an assessment, you can gather all this information, all these views and everything, but if you are not able to document them and make sure that you put a concise report, a robust report of what you have gathered, that renders all that information useless. So you need to make sure that you are clear, you are concise in your report. Your documentation needs to be clear. It needs to be free of jargon as well, and make sure that you are utilizing evidence, and your assessment and your rationale is rooted in evidence and in things that you have actually heard the parents say, or things that you have heard the children say in terms of their voice. So you need to make sure that your assessments are evidence based, and you also need to make sure that you clearly document the sources of your information and the reasoning behind the recommendations that you are making. The last point, which may not necessarily, because I remember I mentioned about 5 points, but I'm just going to give you the last tip. It's about your continuous learning. Right. As you know, the case that we deal with, the risk factors may vary from domestic violence to youth violence, child-on-child abuse, to possibly substance misuse and all that. These are a variety of risk factors that you are dealing with on a daily basis. It's possible that your strength may be in domestic violence, but not necessarily in teenage behaviors. So if it means that you feel like you are not, your information is out of depth in a particular theme or in a particular area, you need to make sure that you are continuously learning as a professional, because the information that you acquired when you were in college, or the information that you acquired 2 years ago at uni, may not necessarily be applicable today because of the changing environment that we are living in. So you need to make sure that you continuously learn, put yourself out there, attend trainings, attend group supervisions within your team, so that you continuously learn and modernize yourself in terms of the information that you have. And you need to keep up to date. You need to keep up abreast with the latest research, the latest policies, the latest practice guidance within your local authority, and the latest practices within social work as well, and the latest expectations within your team and within your service as well. Because remember, you are not working in a vacuum, you are working in a team, and you need to bounce off your ideas with others. And there's nothing wrong with you discussing your case even with a colleague, and bounce off ideas and hear what they think about what's going on. Maybe your colleague may have worked a similar case and will be able to give you pointers in terms of support services that you can think of, support services that you can refer that family to make sure that you actually strengthen the outcome of that particular family. So remember, some of the workshops that are there within most local authorities, they're actually free. Whether you are locum or not, make sure that you register and attend those trainings, so that you're able to keep yourself abreast with what's going on in the latest trends. So with those few tips, I hope I've answered the question of one of those viewers who actually requested me to give them tips and pointers on how they can come up with robust child and family assessments as a social work student. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that when I post, you'll be the first person to know, and you'll be able to watch and share the videos. Thank you so much.